Me and Kels both looked up.
Yeah, he's like, what happened?
Oh, it immediately popped back up for me. It just knew where I was gonna be.
No, it's taking me to some old stuff.
Oh, yep. You're looking out, Kels, because that was the old one.
It's taking me to some old stuff.
Let's try this again. Okay, let's try this one.
We all on the live with our conversation.
We're trying to get you back, y'all.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
We all on the live with our conversation.
Zuck is hating tonight. Let us live, Zuck.
Right.
We have a good combo.
We ain't hurting nobody. Come on.
All right, where were we? What were we talking about?
We're about to go to the next hot topic. We just finished up the one about was the dress code racist at the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Our next topic is good old relationship one. We know we love a good relationship.
Yes,
combo.
we do. Yes, we do.
It says, well, Winfred posted it, and it says, fellas, do you interpret this as men will choose a woman who brings them peace over a woman who is fine? If you do not interpret this as I stated, how do you interpret it? Do you agree with your interpretation? Ladies, feel free to drop your questions on the statement. And the statement says, men settle where they find peace, not beauty. And then it says, y'all not listening though. I hate it. I mean, you could just left it as it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be extra.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start with you on this one.
Mm.
Well, I know it was talking to men, but how do you interpret this? The statement.
Men settle where they find peace, not beauty. I think they like to settle where they find peace. And beauty is nice to have too. Like I think they shoot for the stars like we all do. But I don't think that's how it always works out. And I don't always think that's intentionally either. But history has shown by all of the conversations that we end up having. And if you have a lot of husbands that stand around and sit and talk about it, they don't have as peaceful a lives as they say they are. They might have some bad chicks that take pretty pictures, but they don't have a peaceful life. So I don't know. And peace is very, what is it, subjective? Is that I always get subjective and relative mixed up. You know what I mean? Subject, because I know some men who love a woman who would drive me bananas. You know what I mean? And that is like his ideal woman. And yes, that type of energy brings him all the peace because it balances his energy. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But and then, it just depends on what your idea of peace is. But when I think the textbook basic definition of peace, and I see some of these relationships, I'm like, no, that ain't what he was after. That peace was not high on bruh's
right
list. Of all the things, peace was not ranking in the top 10. I mean, we ain't gonna say 5, top 10, and he is settled in. Bruh's locked in. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So okay. So I have to think about this in layers. So I agree. I think that in theory, men settle where they find peace. I do. I think the problem with this is that if you read this a certain kind of way, which is why I asked how men interpret it, it almost makes it seem like men don't set, like they're willing to be with the woman that they don't find physically attractive.
Yeah.
Of peace, and that's just
not true.
Not true. I know no man who's like, yeah, she ugly, but bruh, she peaceful. Like, it's just not a conversation that's had in any circle. Let's just be honest. So I think it's kind of like we want both. Like we want to and to be honest, I think depending on the age that we're talking about, we will go for the woman who looks really good. And and I've said this, I think I've said it on here. Like I was like, you know what? If I said, I've told somebody before, like, you're not attractive enough to be this mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you have said that.
I was like, I dated somebody once at one point. Like, you fine enough where you could be this rude, but if you wasn't, I would have been moved on with my life. Eventually, I did.
You only get a pass because you're fine.
Yeah,
you get a pass because you real fine, but at some point that wears off. So it's like, you know, so
and women do it too. People do that. We do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely have a level of, you know, patience versus, you know,
if they real fine, they got a whole lot of money. It's like you get some passes that's what we call it pretty privilege. You get pretty privilege. There's other people who are not pretty don't get, and that's just
funny, funds, and fine. Those three will get you a lot more leniency with a lot of folks than usual. Fundage, funny, and being fine. those three things will let you reach far and wide with the right folks. Yeah,
absolutely. So but I do think, like to your point, Q, that like there's this thing of where we do want peace, like we want that peaceful place, but it's like the reality is we're not going to settle for an ugly one who's peaceful. It's not going to happen.
Right. I get it.
But yeah, that whole y'all not listening, keep that off next time.
Yeah. and you know, and we gotta, they have to stop, or we have to stop pitting beauty against everything with men, because it's gonna always be beauty. Like, stop trying to. You're not gonna change that, ladies. We have to throw in the towel. Just let it go. We're not gonna change it.
You know, I think the other part of it is, so I think, like, on to your point, Kel, it's like two extremes. Like, anytime I meet a woman who is like, who would be considered very attractive, and she's single, like, I would say if I meet 10 women like that and they're single, they assume it's because they're like, oh, that's because I'm not, excuse my language, I'm not a garden tool. Because they win, the guard tools winning. Then you meet another, like, then it's like this, you know, somebody who's a little heavy. No, it's like you're just not that person's type. Mm-hmm. Or let's just be clear, like, I've met some very attractive women. I'm like, no, the reality is you're just mean, and nobody at the end of the day wants a mean person, no matter how.
Nobody wants a mean person. Like,
no one wants a mean person. And on the other extreme, it's like, yeah, you're really nice, but a lot of men that you're around you're just not attracted to them, and that's okay. Like, everybody is not attracted to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And we just have to know, be
okay with it,
who we are attracted to, and like, it's like who likes you,
mm-hmm.
and quit trying to hang out with people who don't like us. That's okay.
It's all right. Everybody ain't got to like you, but you know that's such a hard lesson to learn.
Yep. And we have to realize that sometimes our desire to be in spaces that aren't welcoming to us is an issue we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. That's a us thing. That's not a them thing. Why don't they like me? Why do you want them to like you so bad that you're going to put yourself in this position over and over? Why are you doing this to yourself? It's not a them thing. And that goes back to even what we were talking about earlier about not wanting to be told nothing. You know what I mean? Everything ain't for you. Sometimes you can't go. Why? Because that's not for you. You don't want to play by these rules. That's why you don't get to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. These aren't your people. You know what I mean? Go with your people. Everybody ain't for you. We like to pick and choose when we say that I ain't for everybody. But until you want to be for everybody, then why
everybody don't like you?
You wasn't for everybody, remember? Oh, but if these people, you just stop that.
And listen, in no area of life are you for everybody.
Period.
Yeah, look, it's people in your own family who you're not for. It's like we just don't get down like that. It's, you know, I don't dislike them, but we don't vibe like that, and that's okay.
But I do think the overall message about men finding peace, I mean, we hear that all the time, so that's not a new message. And I think sometimes people have to be reminded, because they, you know, some ladies think it's cute, or I'm sure some men too think it's cute to be, you know, mad or irritable or spicy, I guess. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's borderline rude or naggy, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Sarcastic, thinking
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. I think part of this also too, Kels, is like a pushback to this. Again, go back to what we were talking about earlier. Like we're in this time where everybody wants to do what they want, say what they want, type of thing. And I think some men are trying to push back against this idea that as in a relationship, you can say and talk to me however you want, and it's just supposed to be acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. Like we cannot just talk crazy to each other and think that that it's an environment where somebody's going to want to stay with us. Just like we can't treat somebody a certain kind of way consistently and expect that they're going to, because they like us or love us, that they're going to remain in our space. No, they're going to eventually leave because nobody wants to be in a space where they don't have the opportunity to enjoy themselves. So other piece of this, and then we're going to move on, is ultimately my fundamental issue with this entire thing is I don't believe that some other person has the ability to give me peace. So on a fundamental level, peace is mine. It's something that I am and something I have. Now you can frustrate it. You can have an environment where I don't like it. But if I'm a peaceful person, at worst, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up and leave out of your presence because I don't want to because you frustrate my peace. But I don't feel like it's too much to control to give a person the ability to say that you bring peace. I don't like, that's a fundamental problem that I have with the entire discussion. But I understand they're talking about an environment, like we talk about energy that we can give to one another if we're in each other's space. So I get that.
Yep.
So yes, the next topic, I scrolled by this one too.
Why would you scroll by this one, Kim?
You have to pick and choose your battles. And I have time for fewer and fewer battles. This argument is just not one I'm willing to have.
Listen, let me go to my agenda and see what we get ready to talk about right here.
This isn't a mountain you want to.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. There's a direct relationship between household labor and interest in sex. If wives are burned out, they're not turned on. You want sex, she needs help. The two are related. I'm not suggesting you do chores to get sex, but I'm saying if you do more, you will get more. It's like the whole sex in exchange for anything dealing with us is just an argument. To me, it just has gotten so like, is this the oldest barter system we've ever had? Is our Uncle Donnie's? Was this first buddies? Because I mean, we cannot let that go. Even though I understand if you're busy or if a woman is doing a lot of work, I can see what they're saying. I understand it, but I think we need to try to get away from the whole sex for payment, especially in relationships, because it should be wanted by both parties. But I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. I get it.
The point.
But
Q, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I get the point of the post. I do. And to Kel's original question, yes, that is the most original and long-standing barter system. It is the one that speaks directly and clearly to the other side. We're the ones who have all of this creativity as far as the things that speak to us and make us tick and motivate us and inspire us to do all of the things, whether it be housekeeping, sexing, child rearing, working, whatever it is. We're the ones who are consistently reinventing the wheel. Men have been consistent with feed me, F me, hush. Like that has been the consistent thing that they offer. I will give you all of the things that you asked for if you do these 3 things that I asked for. However, as times have changed, women have evolved and we have added 2-hour things. We are now asked to do the things that the men were doing also, in addition to the other things. That is why these conversations are beginning to become so cumbersome. And yes, I am also equally frustrated with this conversation, more so because it's one that people are still acting dumbfuzzled about as how this is still a conversation. What do you mean? Like, to hear the people be like so confused as to why these things are connected is what's more frustrating to me than the fact that a woman has to share this way and it still not be understood. I don't see how we can connect all the other dots to get us to sex, but we can't connect the dots that helping would get her to be happier having sex. Like, I don't understand, like, where all the comprehension just gets lost. Like, when we start connecting them down, huh? What? You mean she don't want to work all day and have sex? She should be excited to sex me at the end of that work day. Like, what? What? Like, yeah, but no. Like there's I'm sorry, but no, that's just not how that works. She can love everything about you. You could be the sexiest man alive. Like, you could be the only man that does it for her. But if she is tired and she is frustrated because she is consistently tired, because
because here let me I got you. You can woosah. You got you. Let me back it up.
You gonna move your soapbox, man.
Please.
Here's the problem. The problem is very simple. The issue is not whether or not you should help her do chores in exchange for sex. That's not the issue. What really it is she needs to, in doing this, she feels like you are helping relieve some of the pressure, some of the stress. You are saying, like, you are more than someone who I have here to make sure my house is clean and that I get some head. Like, this is not her primary, and to cook my food.
Yeah.
Women love sex. Let's just be honest. Let's just throw this out. Women actually like sex, but they don't like sex in an environment where they feel emotionally defeated. Nope. Like, where they feel like this is, and by the way, since we're on the subject, I write about this in my book that's coming out.
Come on.
Right now, where I'm running a 2 for 30 special. But anyway, it's not the sex. The sex is the result of her feeling comfortable. It's feeling loved, about feeling connected. So when you say, listen, you know what, I see all this stuff on your plate, let me take some of this stuff off you. You go ahead and chill. I got you. It's like, oh, he sees me. That's really, it's no different than as a man, the way we feel when we know that, when y'all know that we've had a hard day, and it's like, listen, let me make sure he has what he needs in order to make the end of his day better. It's the same dang blasted thing. What is the big deal? So if you see your woman, to me, it just makes sense to say, how can I help? What do you need? If I wash the dishes twice a week, would that make your life easier? If I do such and such, is this what you need? Like, just ask the question. It ain't that, and do it. Like, it ain't that hard.
Yeah.
It is. I don't see the big deal. And as someone who cannot cook to save the only thing I could do is make. Now I got air fryer. I think I'm bad. But
come on now, bro.
Look, it's nothing to just say, hey, twice a week I got dinner. Don't worry about it.
And she don't care if you order it out.
Yeah, just do something. Do something so she knows, okay, I don't have to be on all the time. Which is the same thing we want.
This is not hard. It's not a hard conversation.
I just don't understand how you say you love somebody and see them hurting and not do anything. That's at the bottom line. That's just me in any area. I love you, but I see you're in pain, and I'm just gonna go. But keep going. Give me more.
Or not even as far as pain. Just like it as a spouse, it is our priority, and that's again another part of this funky space that we're in. As far as like, I'm not responsible for you and any of your feelings. Like that's you. You ain't happy, that's on you. You ain't peaceful, that's on you. You don't have no joy, that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, well, what are you here for? If you are not helping me in any of these spaces, if I am solely responsible for all of my feelings, all of the everything, why are you here? Oh, just sex? Oh, no, go, no, no, like that is not going to work. You know what I mean? And that is a lot of the times what we hear, what the women's groups, when we share and we talk about what's going on, that is what, like, the play-by-play of what's been broken. Women are at their wits' end just trying to get an understanding of that it is not about the sex. But if that's all I have to have you see me, to have you hear me, to have you understand, because that's the only language that you're getting, and you still miss that. You still shutting down and missing the message of something ain't right. All you getting is I ain't getting sex. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, even that is like, bruh, what are we doing? And this is women by and large. This ain't just black women. Yeah. This is women. This is a relationship issue. So no, it ain't even just a black thing. This ain't just black women who are revolting against the sex. Like this is women who are tired of just having to have this kind of conversation, not just the correlation of the chores and the sex. This kind of conversation is, y'all, like, it's time to change this game. It's time.
Yeah.
Now, let me say this. Now, if this ain't your story,
then hush. Sorry, go ahead.
Because there are some ladies, this ain't your story. Like it's some I know some bros out here who are doing the thing, and like, ma'am, where's my camera? Ma'am,
bust it.
Ma'am.
Right.
I need you to be right. Listen,
2 shots.
Ma'am.
Right.
Brother done cooked, he done cleaned, he done got the kids to bed, he done drove you to and from work, he done bought you fly. I mean, there's some brothers out there consistently. Yeah. So, ma'am, if that is you that is now trying to use that as a weapon to get him or not giving him what he needs, you need to stop.
Yeah. If he's trying, meet him in the middle. Yep.
Stop. Do a split on this. I want to sit on it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I don't even know how I feel with you singing. I don't know how I feel.
Jasmine say that, I say, woo!
Pineapples. I don't think I want the panda singing that on the
line. That's what Jasmine say. Hey.
Listen, that made me uncomfortable. Hold on. I'm gonna let you live right.
Oh no, that's appropriate.
Next topic.
We wasn't ready.
What David said, there's the line. That was the line. You just crossed
it.
All right, kids. I'm sorry.
Good way to button that topic on up.
Right. Oh God, this is what we're talking about. The way it's worded.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we scroll past. Cause no.
Yeah.
But says, how do you trade a bed? It says, I need help, ladies, because this one I have is a piece of work. But after going 36 hours without hearing from me, he answered my call on the first half a ring. I did text him a questionable message before I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now he's flying out here Thursday. He's still getting on my nerves, but I can see the actual growth in me because the old Tifa would have already blocked him, cussed him out, and found a new man. A lot to pack. How do you trade a bed? Don't talk to him.
I don't like Tifa. Tifa can't sit with me.
The old or new Tifa.
Yeah, I mean,
Tifa has not grown. Tifa
right at all. Tifa, you were so wrong. That's Yeah. Go ahead.
These are the these are the games that people play. I mean, we know it. We know it's real. People play games like this all the time, but as we know, when you play games, you get hurt. Like this doesn't even.
I know a couple Tifas.
It's not wise. It's just not wise. It's just not a wise thing to do. Yeah, it's not a wise thing to do. Because even if it works on this one,
the next one,
like we got to stop sowing them bad seeds and wondering what.
There's always one out here bigger and badder than you. Ain't that what our mamas used to tell us? It's always gonna be one bigger and badder, smarter, slicker, all of it, always. Yeah. Because if he was the one playing the games with her and had her chasing behind him, then she would be, why he playing games? Why can't y'all ever just be real with us when we try and open up and give you our everything and y'all want to play games? That's why y'all don't have a real good woman. This is why we want.
Yep. I think, like, I ain't gonna lie. I think that, like, I've had experiences before that, like, with people who I wanted it to work and it didn't, and at the end of it, I have to be like, that was probably payback from that. What I did. I gotta bite the bullet. I gotta bite the bullet on that one because that was. I earned that.
You got to settle the score. You got to keep the balance.
Yeah,
the natural balance thing.
Like, I earned that one. Yeah, I earned that one. Okay, all right, I can't trip. I don't think people think like that in general. Like, I the last one out that really liked me, yep. All right, God. I'm like, all right, God, I got you.
You'd be like, I'll go ahead and I'll serve my sentence on this.
Lesson learned.
I know this. Yeah, I think I'll be thinking that sometimes too. I get it. I don't know that it's still that piece that struggle between women and men now because of this, because they think that we think this is okay, just like other things that have happened in the past. We can't really change. I don't think majority of women set out with an attitude, particularly like this. I don't see that as being or what do you guys think? Do you think it's more common than not?
I think it is now. I think in a lot of ways it has become our defense mechanism. Being soft did not work. Being soft hurt. So instead, it's our turn. We can do it. Oh, they want to play? Oh, you want to play? That's essentially the energy that a lot of women have right now.
Yeah.
Because staying soft, that feminine energy, the nurturer, all of that was taken advantage of. Like, it may not have been all men didn't do it to all the women, but by and large, that has been passed on. You don't have to hurt me for me to realize that hurts. You understand? So over time, it becomes understood that until this person proves that and that's not fair, it's not healthy, it's whatever, but until I'm safe enough to be soft with you, you're gonna have to, and that there's various levels of that. But soft didn't work. Soft did not keep us safe for a very long time. So until soft can keep us safe, it's gonna be harder to find soft. Yeah. And it sucks. It does. But we just talked about the universe. We just talked about the universe and how it's gonna get us get back. So I mean, this is the leveling out of the BS that we're in right now.
But I think that's and I've been saying that. I think that's my biggest concern is this does not end in okay, now we're even. It ends in the power getting redistributed back the other way. And we're back at the same thing instead of which is why in a lot of instances, I think I always tell, like, hey, Ebony, I tell dudes, like, brothers, like, just take it for a minute. Like, let her get it out and she's gonna be fine in a second. If you consistently do what you do, because if we in turn do the same thing, what's gonna wind up happening is we're gonna be even worse than where we are. Where, like I said, this standstill where we both like pointing the gun at each other, waiting for the other person to shoot us. Like, I'm gonna hold you hostage, you're gonna hold me hostage, and we're just gonna sit here and at this stalemate. But meantime, we're telling the other what we want from each other, thinking that they're going to give it to us. Well, it's like that's not how that works. Like, both of us have to put our weapons down, take our armor off, and say, okay, listen. But somebody in this instance, somebody has to say, listen, if I gotta be the sacrificial lamb for a second, I'm gonna do it. So you can see that I'm not trying to hurt you.
Yep.
And that's what I want. Like when I talk to a lot of guys, I'm like, look, just give her a second. She's been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So give us and then she has to realize he gonna have some residual from that because you hurt him. So you're gonna have to give him a second to lick his wounds and do what he need to do. But we gotta stop this back and forth, like this mutual stalemate that we have.
I don't think I'm going to push back a little bit on that. I don't think this gives us reason to hurt the other. I don't think that women, because we have been in this space, we now have free reign to hurt the people that we hope are going to turn around and love us.
Absolutely.
I think that there should be a level of understanding that there has been hurt before. Which makes me less willing to open myself up for you, for you to potentially hurt me in the future.
Absolutely.
But that does not mean make things harder. As in, I'm going to create pain in this space.
Correct.
For us to have to work through later. And that's something that we as women, if we're just talking about it in this particular instance, we have to own that. Like we have to put that in its place because we're only going to make it worse. We're not going to fix anything. But there is that is getting in love. That is the love part. That is the worth it that we say that we're fighting for. That is the what makes me different than her, than him, than everybody else. You know what I mean? If you're willing to stick it out with me. But that does not mean I'm gonna stick it out with you and keep being your you know what I mean? Like no, that is where we can't do that. Yeah, we don't want to do that. No, so no, stop telling your boys to take that.
Well, I'm saying in terms of like, thinking that just because she comes across as hard initially, I'm saying give her a second. This is you got to get past the hard exterior or the words that she's saying. Like a lot of things on social media, like I or what women say, I'm like, she don't mean that.
Okay, yeah.
She don't mean that. She's saying that because she's trying to protect herself to see if you will. Just stand there and let her say what she got to say. I don't mean it dismissively, but let her say what she has to say. But once she sees that you're not trying to just, get you some and move on or what, take her money, run it, then she'll be fine. And I think that's what I mean by taking. I don't mean be abused. I wouldn't technically do that.
Yeah. Well, we take things literally around here at the scoop, so I had to make that clear.
Thank you for doing that. Because yes.
See, said you can hurt. We can get hurt, but we can't hurt. No.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, now that we'll wrap that topic on up.
Before we go further down that rabbit hole.
Before we get into the hurt people.
Right.
Rabbit hole. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that train. Yeah, the Hot Topics was is still sponsored, brought to you by Bob Shamrock. Located at 2901 Northwest 10th in Oklahoma City, across from the fairgrounds. We do have fish and chicken available daily. We have barbecue now, so make sure you stop on by Bob's where you can pull up and fill up. The hours are Sunday. Oh no, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then Saturday and Sunday. We close at 7 and open at 10 a.m. So
10 to 7. 10 to 7.
Y'all come on by and see us.
Pull up.
I think we get ready to go into our next main.
Yep. It's on me.
Q Willis.
Yes. All right. So, did you happen to get the image that I sent in the chat?
I sure did.
Oh. All right, so I know we've been talking about Sexy Shay, but today we're gonna talk about this here, Blacked and Beautiful Braid Balm. Excuse me. So this product has been what I have been most recently retwisting my locks with, and the locks of my clients. This product is light and silky to touch. It moves well on your hair. And it holds well. It works amazing for, like I said, locks, your ponytails, your puffs, your braids, box braids, knotless braids. If you want it smooth, this product is the product that is going to have you secure and ready to go. Now, flip of that, not the flip. Hot note, okay? Elegance by Design does not support hard hair, okay? If you are looking for a product that is not going to allow your hair to move for days, keep scrolling, sis. And I'm not mad, okay? Because I don't make products that don't allow your hair to move. My edge control, my braid balm, these products, when you want to restyle your hair, you can take that brush, you can take that spray bottle, and you can restyle your hair, okay? I don't believe in hair that does not move. So this product is going to have a least amount of buildup when you take your box braids down, when you take your French braids down, your twist down, your 2 strands. My natural sisters who wear the 2-strand twist, and that is your style for 2 weeks, your hair is going to love this product, okay? So give some self-care to your strands. Get the Blocked and Beautiful Braid Balm, elegancebydesign.com. Yes. See, Courtney, thank you, sis. Just did my daughter's jumbo box braids with it. Love it. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Get the comments on here right now.
Get some. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and move into tonight's main topic, which is one about that good old communication. Ebony, elegancebydesign.com, and I'm restocking back to my Roots Marketplace this week. So you can also pick that item up there. Excuse me. All right. So tonight's main topic is one about communication and timing. Okay, so we're gonna have this one is brought to you by a text thread between a an engaged couple. Young man has been laid off from his job and is trying to connect with his fiance to share the news with her and all of his frustration. He feels as though he has devised a plan to get them back on the good foot and prepared for nuptials. And sis does not agree. Bro, go ahead and make it big for me so we can read it for the people. Okay. The gentleman is in black and sis is in green. Hey, babe, can you take a quick 5-minute break? Babe, I can text. I'm in the car with Tasha making a delivery. We're 20 minutes from the location. I can call still, but she will hear. You good? I don't want her to hear. I just got laid off, babe. 7 effing years with them, and they laid me off because sales are down by 40%. I'm losing it right now. What? You got laid off? Seriously? This better not be a joke, Calvin. It's not, babe. I'm dead serious. They're giving me a severance package, 7 weeks paid, and then I'll have to file for unemployment. She says, are you kidding me? We've been engaged 2 years. You're telling me to cancel the wedding. Are you serious? What about my family and friends flying out? Do you realize the embarrassment that this will cause? You're overreacting. He goes on to explain that he was making over 100,000. And with his plan that they'll have over $20,000 to survive, and he also needs the ring back. So, because that's also going to be more money. She's like, wow. She loses it at the whole point of the ring thing. She's like, I'm still working. I make good money.
You'll be read it.
Yes, please, because I can't see it. That's making me struggle too hard right now.
She says, oh Lord, hold on. What in the world? She says, no. He says, babe, I was making over $100,000 a year. That is now gone. We have bills. Your check won't cover them all. If we cancel the wedding and I get all the deposits back, we will have over $20,000 to survive. I would also need the ring back too. I don't know how long it will take to find another job like the one I had. Amani, I'm sorry about this. I promise you, once I'm back working, we will have the wedding of your dreams. She says, again, like you said, we believe this. Wow. You're serious about canceling the biggest day of my life. And you ask for the ring back as well. This is BS. And I'm not with it. I'm not agreeing to this. And he says, you make $30,000 a year, babe. It won't help when our bills are over $4,000 a month. We can go to the courthouse and get married, then have a reception later. can we do this, babe? I know you're mad, but we need to be smart with the money. I'll start making calls to cancel deposits. Again, I'm sorry about this. She says, if you do that, I am done with you. I will leave you. What she said, I dreamed, or I'm dead serious. I refuse to let you embarrass me. He says, are you serious? You will leave me because I can't have a fancy wedding to impress people you don't even speak with on a daily? Are you serious? You want to go broke and struggle to impress folks? She says, yes, I'm serious. And he says, I will figure something else out. I'll figure something else out. I love you.
Love you too. Hearts. Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. So, of all the things that are blaringly obvious about this conversation that are wrong, okay, we're going to talk about this tonight because although our interactions might not be this extreme, this, like I stated at the top of the segment, has a lot to do with timing. You know what I mean? A lot to do with timing, a lot to do with when and where.
Yeah.
The medium we choose to have these types of conversations. Because in my personal opinion, text was terrible to try and have this conversation, but even a telephone call would not have been enough to convey the emotion, the seriousness, the true intent that was trying to be shown in both of them. I think both of their reactions were extreme, but both of them were feeding off of what they were assuming the other was saying, feeling, implying. You know what I mean? But if you are sharing that face-to-face space with someone else, you could have a totally different interaction when having this type of conversation. So yeah, those are just my surface level thoughts on this here scenario. Kels, what did you think about this?
I mean, although I would be super pissed in her situation, I don't think I would be as far. I don't think I would go as far as to like I'm leaving because of that. But I can see how that it would just be. I mean, he would be the closest thing that you'd be able to even to take frustrations out on because of the severity of the situation. And he lost his job, you know, and in that moment you're just gonna be selfish.
Yeah,
I think just coming from that little bit of Bridezilla that we all kind of have in us. Like, what? You gonna ruin my plans? No, but
because she said they've been planning this for 2 years, right?
Yeah,
they've been planning.
Engaged for 2 years.
Engaged for 2 years.
Engaged. Okay. Well,
but, I mean,
as soon as she said yes, she started planning. Right. Planning for 2 years.
But for him going from 100,000, I mean, to me, honestly, I think you would be more concerned about him than anything else. So I think this conversation will be different. Yeah. This is a little bit extreme. That would have to be a very selfish person, and their relationship dynamic might not even be at an equal proportion. You know, if that could deter him, or even if she was comfortable, even throwing that tantrum. Like I said, I'd be pissed, but I can't see myself thinking I'm gonna leave and all that kind of stuff. I think you would be more concerned about his mental health and his pride and everything by losing the job.
So before I go to Win with his thoughts, I have a follow-up for that because you brought a very good point. Do you think him bringing up the wedding in that conversation helped to move the conversation away from how he felt into the wedding? Because he says, like, I feel crazy right now, but then his immediate next conversation was, babe, we're going to have to cancel the wedding. We got to do that. Oh, and by the way, the ring. Like, it deflected from how he felt about it, and he went immediately to the wedding, which then put that on 10. Like, what? Like, wait, now we got to go. We went from you lost your job to now we ain't getting married. Like, So, I mean, do you think that might have helped to highlight that selfishness in that moment?
Because to me, when and I say this often, when that fight or flight response in you happens, to me, you tell your truth off the cuff because your emotion is so much disarray. You can't mask anything. So to me, the wedding was already stressful, so probably already expensive. Yeah. Because if you're making $100,000 a year, to me, you more than like you have a pretty hefty, nice, nest egg.
20,000.
And she got 30, and she's making whatever he said, 30,000. So together they had 130,000 a year. They
Listen,
feel happy.
So you have some savings somewhere that when you'd been all right, but to jump right to that in the ring, bro, something was going on. Something was going on before.
Bro was 20,000 in deposits. Let's
that's a lot.
Let's let that means this wedding was at least $40,000
minimum.
At least $40,000.
Yeah.
20 in deposits.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's some money. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money, but at making 6 figures a year, and even for 2 years, to me, 40,000 ain't nothing. Oh, I ain't gonna say it ain't nothing, but you can afford it.
It depends on where they live. So there's
maybe that's okay. I mean, I will take that back. It does depend on
where. So let me. Yeah, it depends on where they live. I mean, if it's Chicago, it's not that much. If it's a smaller city, that the cost of living isn't as high.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because I'm thinking about saving. Even if you're making $100,000 a year, I could see you spending, 30,000-40,000 on the wedding if you saved to be.
Okay.
You're also a financial advisor, so your savings would probably look different than the average person's savings.
Well,
and
I guess if I'm saying if you're intentional in saving,
it's possible. I mean, it's possible to spend $30,000 on the wedding. I'm not suggesting that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, because you could not. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I mean, to me, the strictest person of saving, if you lived in the Midwest part of the country, Midwest or southern part of the country, East Coast, West Coast, probably not. Definitely, probably not California or Florida. But I don't know, Midwest. I think you would be okay. Like you would probably have been paying, even with the deposit, maybe you was paying something down. But I mean, to me, I'm just saying, I think it's more behind his financial situation that he went automatically to the wedding.
So I think to your point,
biggest unnecessary.
So I think, Q, to answer, let me answer your question first. I think yes, him jumping straight to the wedding did infuriate or bring out the whole selfishness thing. But I think this is where like dissecting this comes in, because his response was immediately, how can I make sure that we're okay as a couple? And her response was, how can I make sure I get what I value as important for me and for everybody else? Like that was, I think that to me is the way he responded, in my opinion, was not the best. But I think this is where, again, where they really should, and I said in the post, I said, this is a really pivotal moment for them, because to them, they should have been able to say, like, they should now be able to go back, get home and say, okay, we need a plan. I understand that you want this wedding. And I'm saying that at $4,000 a month in bills, and you're bringing in at $30,000 a month, you're probably $30,000 a year. You're bringing in probably about $3,000 a month. So we are already negative $1,000 a month in our bills. Once I am laid off, once I don't get once my severance runs out. So we need to. So let's move. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a more appropriate. Which is why texting was not the best thing. Why calling was not the. You know what I mean? Like it should have. Yeah, correct. It should have been like, hey, listen, I just got laid off. Oh my God, are you okay? Are you good? I know you're. You know what I mean? Like I know all of that, but for him to jump all the way to the wedding without even giving the caveat of, I lost my job. Oh my God, I know we got this. This is a huge expense. What can we do to save money? Like had he have said, what can we do to save money because we lost all this income, they could have worked up to the wedding. You know what I mean? Or she could, but he jumped straight to the wedding, which in turn then made her jump straight, like you said, to the other extreme, which they have to learn. They're going to have to learn how to not do, unless they like that. Some couples like to argue like that. Unless, that's that. It was just bad. The whole situation.
Yeah.
I also think this plays into knowing your people and finding a good balance in your person. Because I put myself in this position when I was reading this, and I thought to myself, if I had been with the company for 7 years, making $100,000 a year, I'm feeling somewhat stable. And knowing the type of person that I am when it comes to the work, the job, how important it is, that's a part of your routine. If you're a worker bee, you a worker bee. And it sounds like he's rocked. Like it's more than the wedding for him. Like my stability is shaken.
Yes.
I would probably be in spaz out mode. I might skip a couple steps and go to the extreme. I might need a moment to be grounded. So I absolutely think that should have, even in her frustration, check yourself, recognize who you're talking to, and vice versa. That because like in my relationship, I would totally be that person. Like my job, like but my job, like I know that initial spaz out, and we would be okay, but my initial spaz out would be DEFCON level. The world is falling. You know what I mean? The sky is falling. We about to be hungry. Like it would be terrible initially, and then I'd have to settle. And be like, okay, wait, I'm tripping. Hold on. You know what I mean? So he would need to know himself and give himself a moment to settle himself. Realize, okay, I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. And then she has to supplement that as well. Neither of them checked for the other person in that moment. Neither of them thought about the other person in that moment.
Absolutely. This was me. It happened to me. I remember when it happened to me, and I was like,
yeah, I remember the frustration I was feeling just at the thought of possibly being laid out.
That happened to me. I was like, I went to DEFCON 100 in my mind.
Yeah.
And I knew, but I knew I can't call her right now. So I had to calm down. Like, let me drive for a minute. Let me calm down. Let me think. Okay. And then I'm like, wait, she's at work. I can't do that at work. Right, let me wait until she gets home. To because I know right now, like that's the process that you have to, that he has to go. But again, if he does, you're correct. Like if you can't, two wrongs don't make a right. So you have to, like, he was wrong in his response, and she should have righted the ship and said, hold on, let's not talk about the wedding right now. Let's talk about you. You good? Right. What's up with you? You know what I mean? So her, he was incorrect, and so was she, and it spiraled.
Yeah.
Then we have the second issue. Not the second, but the third or fourth issue, which is, I'm leaving you.
Yeah, that was manipulation.
No. Let's back up. We skipped over one. You're going to embarrass me in front of my family and all of my friends who are coming.
Yeah.
That was then. It was. I'm like, wait.
That's her DEFCON though. That's her level DEFCON.
Yeah.
His is we hungry. Ours is look at all of this. Look at all of this. Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, then I thought, yeah, I'm leaving you? No. The ring to me was I was like,
the ring that he know he was.
Bro.
Why would he even bring up the ring when it was already going that bad?
I can't let him pass. I was like, brother.
Like, come on now.
Brother.
You know you ain't getting the ring back. You already trying to cancel the wedding.
I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. What are you gonna do with it anyway? If you pawn it, you gonna get a couple $100. Like what are you?
They not gonna give you what you paid for it back.
Yeah, what were you really thinking to take the ring back?
Yeah. He lost me completely on the ring. Like the numbers, the rationale, the none of that. Like, boy, leave that woman's ring alone. Let her alone with that. Now, unless you just canceling the wedding altogether.
Unless y'all ended the relationship. But even
right. Otherwise, leave that ring where it's at. Leave it
even
right where
you're not getting that ring back.
No. But that was, again, bad timing. Like, he does not pick up the cues well. That was like the fourth swipe of text down that we finally got to him talking about the ring. So...
yeah,
you should have known all them long drawn out text before. Then that was not the way that you were supposed to go with that. Not the way you were supposed to go with that. I think that is part of the exchange highlighted them being more incompatible than the beginning. I could identify with the beginning as a natural, poorly shared exchange, but I could see that happening more naturally in a couple, and then at some point before you get to the whole ring, I'm leaving you, that level, somebody saying, wait a minute, okay, babe, let's just pause and let's talk about this later when we get together. I understand. I'm sorry that this thing happened, but before we say too much or before we exaggerate and do too much, let's just talk later. Someone should have called a timeout before they got to that point. But when they got to that level, then I'm like, yeah, y'all need to go and hang it up. Get all them deposits back. Send out the little email to the people. Let them know. Go and get the embarrassment out the way now. Let him be ain't-ish and let her be crazy. To all of you people, tell the appropriate stories so everybody can go on with their lives. So by the time the proposed wedding day comes and goes, this is all over with. You know what I mean? Like, get it all over with so nobody even reckons it's a regular old day by the time the wedding day comes. You know what I mean? But that part was more evident to me that this was not going to work than the beginning. They could have saved it in text 2 and 1 through 3. When they got to 4 through 6 is when they lost me.
I was like, they need to go talk to some. They need to get some counseling. This is like some help communicate, because this was.
Yeah, I mean, because it makes you, like I said, to me, it made me think that their relationship was superficial for him to just. I mean, that was just extreme to just jump to that. Yeah. That's the first thing you thought about was the wedding. But I guess you.
I could see it being the first thing he thought about because it's the largest expense in front of him.
Okay.
And that's the extra I have right now. It's like, what can I cut that's going so we can survive? He went into survival mode. Like, what can I cut out of my budget right now that we really don't need? That could really but in her mind, we really need
the ring too, though.
Right, I'm just telling you. I can tell you that's exactly what in his mind. He went through every line item. He probably still paying on the ring, like of every line item of food that I need, every expense I can get rid of in my budget, so we can go bare bones budget until I get me a job back, and then be good. I would almost guarantee that's what he thought. Which again, I get, but like her list is a little different than yours, sir. You can't.
He busted down the entire experience.
Yeah.
For her. Yeah. And that one exchange, he took her from Cinderella to the courthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like superficial stuff aside, you can love the hell out of a person, but if you set an expectation and then in one text message conversation, you have totally obliterated the expectation, the ideal, the things that I've reached out and touched. You know what I mean? Like, this was happening. It is in motion. And now all of a sudden, not only are we pausing it, it's not do-overs don't quite hit the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you know what
they don't quite hit the same.
Especially if you understand how important that is to her.
Yes.
So I think that's the thing. Is if it wasn't a thing, if he was with somebody who was like, I really don't need a wedding like this, and I just want to do this, you know what I mean? Like, then this is an entirely different conversation because it's not a big deal to her. But knowing that this is a big deal to her, to then come in and do that is like,
yep.
So
like, I don't want us to just super bash this like she's some super, materialistic chick. But I'm talking about us collectively. Like,
my thing was, especially at the end when she's like, I'm gonna leave you if that happens. He's like, oh, okay, I'll figure something else out. That's why I said make me seem like maybe that's how he got her. So that was, he wanted her, wanted to let her know about that. But the fact that she's gonna leave him, I will go, hold on. Let me see what else I can figure out.
Right. And you know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you, because when I read that, I thought this man is in a world of trouble. She's going to play this card every
She's dangling that carrot. Yep.
I'm like, like that's that was her bottom line. Like, this is bottom line. And she didn't flinch, and he broke down. So I'm like, he just set a really weird, bad, not good precedent in this marriage. That if he don't deal with this today, when he get home, he gonna be dealing with this for the next however long they're married.
Yep. And that's the truth, right there, because that, like I said, those last few messages really showed what it was. You know what I mean? Because it makes, and that in itself made us question. It went from understandable to wait, what? You know what I mean? Just in like, what's really going on here? Did he really want to? They've been engaged for 2 years. We already know that. Was that because they just wanted to be engaged that long? Did he tell her, babe, let me get a little more money together? Let me do this. You know what I mean? Is he trying to make it work? Like, there's a lot more questions just from that.
For this day that she wanted.
Yes. How much of this is actually what they want versus what she wants? You know, how stable are they? Because 100,000, when we're living above our means, 130,000 even. Because how much of that 30K that she makes is she actually putting in on the life that they live? Now I got questions. Now I'm wondering about Sis's character. You know what I'm saying? Because the tone has been set for, you know what I mean? Her being the priority. And I wanted to say, like, 5 years from now, after the marriage has happened, if he comes home and he's laid off, is she going to deal with this differently when there's not something as important, as iconic, as big for a woman as a wedding? Is she going to be like, oh, babe, well, we'll handle that. Well, maybe we'll take one vacation as opposed to 2. Or is it going to be like, what? We can't go vacation with the Joneses this year? What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Is that the type of energy he's going to get now? Or is she going to be understanding because it's not as heavy as the wedding? You know what I mean?
It'll be something else.
It'll be something else. The whole extreme.
Yeah, that's what
makes you feel like it'll be something else.
Yeah, for her to say that, for him to change his mind like that. Yeah.
This has happened in smaller spaces before to make her feel comfortable enough to hit him with the "I'll leave you" over the wedding. I'm pledging my life to you, so I'm willing to put it all on the line for a day, like, because my life forever is all dependent on this one day. Okay.
I am. Yeah. I just
make it plain, sis.
I just kept thinking, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But again, that's what this could be a very pivotal moment for them because this sets the tone. And I don't think I think a lot of times we talk about, you know, preparation for marriage and how a lot of times dating doesn't. There are a lot of scenarios in dating that don't really translate well into marriage. This is a situation that translates very well into marriage. Yeah. Like you have to figure out in situations like this in the dating phase, how are we going to respond? How are we going to handle these situations? How are we going to work through this? Because if we can process this well now, then later on we can establish like this is the way that we do this. He calls like that. He calls in a panic. I know I have to be the calm one for him until he gets home, and then we can sit down and talk about it because we cannot have these conversations on the phone.
Yep.
When she throws at me that she about to leave, you know what I mean? Like they have to work through that now, like because that's if not this cycle of conversation is going to be their norm. It's gonna be their norm.
What we call it, trigger languages. This is the time to identify your trigger languages.
Yep. And clearly it happened because I'm leaving you. Are you serious? Yes. Okay, I'll work something out. I'll figure something out. Like that to him, for her, it was I'm canceling the wedding. Like that was the embarrassing thing was her trigger. And she said, if you do that, this is my bottom line.
The thought of losing her trumped the fear of not being able to feed her.
Yeah. That's why I say that.
That's a cold world right there.
It's definitely different. Like he's gonna want to please. He's gonna want to. She's definitely gonna feel like she has the upper hand. He folded easily.
Yeah.
They put up no fight. Okay.
Look, you know what?
I don't want you to love my party more than you love being able to provide for me. Don't stop that. Like, don't do that. I don't want a man to love me so much that my temper tantrum will allow him to be like, okay. Yeah. Like, boy, you better be like, girl, you better get it together. Now, if we're going to get married, we're going to get married. It might not be when we say it, but we're going to get married. I'm going to need you to calm down. You know what I mean? Like, chill out. That's not that serious. That's the type of energy that I would need after that. Like, don't do that.
That's why I said, I hope when they got home, this conversation was like, all right, now let's have this conversation. What we talked about earlier, but let's now. And I hope he was like, hey, I was tripping earlier. This is why I said what I said, but we need to have this conversation, and we're not leaving them. Ain't nobody leaving nobody. Let's work this out. I feel like I hope that's what happened because again, if not, and I think you know what was interesting. What was even more interesting to this for this with me was to me, excuse me, was I see like we see these power struggles so much. Like this was a power play. This is what I would call it power. She muscled her way into this decision. and he knew it, and like he acquiesced to it. And I think that for her, like we're saying what it does to him, but for her, I think she's gonna regret the fact that she does this because now you have to perform like this every time to get what you want. Nobody wants to live like that. Like as a woman, it can't be good to know that in order to get my man to see how that something is really important to me, I have to threaten to leave him because at some point he gonna call your bet. Yeah, he gonna call your threat. So that can't be good, and it can't be good because, to your point, Q, what woman wants a man that she can talk to like that, and he's gonna respond like that? Now you're gonna
this whole thing is gonna get old.
I'm raising a little boy when I should have had a man. Like, so this doesn't work well for either one of them if this continues.
Nope. And all he thinks he's doing is loving her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give her everything. You know what I mean? And these are those times where, you know how the fellas tell us choose better. These are those times when you got to identify sis ain't ready, choose better. You know what I mean? And then we the same way we ask y'all to call them out among y'all, these are the types of we need to call them out. She's not ready. She's not ready for the type of man who's willing to sacrifice it all for her to have all of her desires. She does not meet him in that space mutually to deserve that. Yeah. Now you can feel how you want to feel about me saying deserve, but I think that is a very adequate way of expressing it. You know what I mean? Because where much is given, much is required. So when we know it's a bunch of folks out here who ain't getting loved right, who's having to beg, borrow, steal, bend over backwards to get the bare minimum, the basics. If you have a man who is willing to jump through all the hoops, sacrifice all the things, work all the hours, and do all the overtime to make sure you have the luxuries of your life, and you meet him with this energy, you are not ready. You need to go back, get it together, and then come back and match that energy.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Call me auntie, call me big sis, call me whatever you want. Fix it. Like, stop it. Fix your attitude because you ain't ready.
Yeah.
These are the moments where his brother should have been like, "You did what?"
Yeah.
No. Because
that's his homeboy instead of her first. That's who he should have called to help him get them together. Yeah.
No, that's not what we're doing. No, that's not. She said that. Go ahead and tell her that's fine.
Yeah.
No, he should have called his homeboy before he called her. You call your boy in the middle of your meltdown, just like you should be able to call your best girl in the middle of your meltdown, so they ground you before you take that show on the road. This is why we should not alienate our friend circles when we get booed up. This is why, because those are the people who knew us before. They know us and can check us when we about to destroy our lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. You should have, bro, I just lost my job. Hold up, bro. Meet me at the bar. Meet me at the court.
Let's talk
around a little bit. Let's throw a couple back. Let's talk it out before you take that to her. You cannot go home and tell that woman you lost your job and you got to cancel her wedding today. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what you do.
Going back to my situation, what had happened to me, and I called Pops. Hey,
there you go.
This is what just happened. This is what I'm thinking. He was like, "You good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, let's talk through this. All right. Did you tell? No, I gotta wait. Okay, good move. All right. I mean, and okay, I'm straight now. I needed a second. I'm good. All right. What's your plan? I don't know. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, that sounds good. All right, good. All right, what you need from? And so I think you do need those people in your life who you can bounce that stuff off of, and then make that call when you're calm, when you expect, not being funny, especially as a man, because fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to say it, like we have to show up a certain way in situations, and you can't. There's some situations we cannot afford to fall apart. There are some situations as a man we got to go in and going, I ain't, like, hey, this is what we gonna do. We got this. I lost my job today, but I'm okay. This is what we going. I mean, it's just the truth. There's certain situations we can't do that.
You can come in first,
and then after you do that, you can fall apart later. I mean, you can fall apart later on that night, but like the initial thing, she needs to see like, okay, we're gonna be all right.
Mhm.
Then you can emote later, but you can't fall apart in that initial moment, because if you fall apart, she falls apart right with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Woo, child, so much for this one. But we see it all the time. Not as extreme as the wedding, but we see these scenarios. We see it happen all the time.
People are just used to it. It's like turning to children, or we don't get your way. Like we revert back to the very basics of no, it's my way or the highway. That's just not reality in the world.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's not in the world. And I'm glad you said it that way. In the world, nowhere does it work that way. No society functions without some type of structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't happen. If we were all able to just do what we want, feel how we feel, move when we want to move, and all of that, then there would be no peace. The life that we live right now would not exist. Chaos.
Yeah.
Look at social media. The fact that we can just post what we want. You know what I mean? The fact that we can post what we want. Imagine if everyone was able to just boom, go out and just do what they want with no restrictions, no restraint, just because I'm me and I want to. Why not? If we all lived a why not lifestyle, where would we really be? So it's this all of our topics somehow have come back to the unwillingness to know that there is a way to do things. Like, we have forgotten that there can still be a way to do things, and that's okay.
Yeah. It's not offensive to want to do things.
You're not any less black. You're not any less, well, you were cool or anything like that if you have a standard about yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
That really has been lost, it seems like, in the younger generation. It would have to be our fault. How did we lose? How did that get lost? On people feeling that way now. Like, it seems like it's more prevalent now.
We got extremely educated at the times things got extremely chaotic. And we got way more access than to all of the things at the same time. That's really what I think. We have been overexposed to everything, to all the good, the bad, and the otherwise. We have so much information, don't know how to vet it, don't know what to do with it. We're just reacting. You know what I mean? We're in the time where it took longer for information to get to us. It gave us a little longer to settle, to marinate, think of things, bounce some stuff off of each other to say, does this really sound like you think it sounds? Does that correct? No, that's crazy. Did you see that part? Like, no, that can't make sense. We don't get the time to really share that because it's instant. Boom, share that. You got to be the first one. I remember when I was in school, we were talking about that. Like, we're so fast. We've got to be the first one. Even our news now, especially our news now, they used to be the source. Now the source isn't even taking time to figure it out.
I mean, terrible.
Yeah.
And then we don't believe in like using that bridge of our parents, our grandparents that would provide that wisdom. Like, if we had stuff, I mean, if you think about it, it used to be where we would go. I say used to, I mean, but there, like, when we would go and talk to them or have those discussions with them. Now that bridge is gone. And we don't really even have dialogues with people who are older than us anymore. To be like, hey, what you think? Now we just think that they crazy and don't know nothing.
Yeah.
So we just
that ain't how it is.
They don't understand, and they help too. They help too by being, sometimes very judgmental and forgetting that at one point they were our age and needed
doing the
same thing. So I mean, I think that's a part of it as well. Like, we should, with all of this great information that we have and access to, still should be able to say, look, hey, what you think about this? What are your thoughts? What should, I'm thinking about making this decision. Give me your input.
But we can't ask anybody else because then that's not my thought. You know what I mean? Like we've got so much insecurities wrapped in our strength that is one of the reasons. I think it's so much of why we really can't get over our hurdles. We have to get over ourselves and out of our way for a lot of things, you know, in a lot of ways. We don't want to go to our neighbor and share and collaborate for fear that our shine is going to be taken, for fear that, you know what I mean, they got it first. We not going to be able to do it together. Whereas, so we all just going to look stupid together. We all just going to fail together because nobody wanted to open the mouth and say that ain't the way we need to go. We just going to all go running off the cliff because, you know what I mean? Right. You know, because I don't understand that. It's one of those things that like we're in that, not the sunken place, but we're in that spot where at some point we're gonna have to stop and look and say, okay, now really, what is this doing for us?
Yeah.
Really what we want to do? Like,
that's everywhere. That's everywhere. That's in entrepreneurship. That's in relationships. That's in corporate America. That's in church. That's in every context of our life. We gotta.
And it's coming. It's coming. It's that swelling. Like it's that the country feels it. You know what I mean? I can't speak for other spaces. I can only speak for right here and the bombarding that we get over and over, day in and day out. But like it's coming. It's happening in all of the communities, but especially ours. Like we are feeling like something has to change, and it's not just everybody else. And that's why we're doing so much of this. We have now come to the understanding that something else has to change, and it might be a little bit of us.
Right.
I feel like I said last week. I feel like we turned the corner. Turning this corner, I feel it. Like we're almost tired of fighting.
So, yeah. It's like, what is this
doing? What I need to do? Yeah. I ain't making look. Ain't nobody making no money. Well, how can we work together?
And what I don't want us to do is what I think our parents' generation did is they just got too tired and just said, listen, we're going to let y'all do this. You know what I mean? We can't do what they did. Shout out to our parents or whatever. I get it. Y'all lived through like the rough parts of what, you know what I mean? With the cusp of some things. I get it, but we can't do that because our kids don't know what to do with all this access. They've got all this brilliance. They've got all of this all of these opportunities. But we being our generation, that hybrid where we know how fast that can turn and how being patient sometimes can really save you, we can't take our hands off because we're frustrated. Like we can't do that. We can't.
Agree.
Because it's only going to get worse. Can you imagine the digital age with no restraint? Like,
even more no restraint.
Right. Both of us made faces like
even more no restraint than what we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they have zero now. Like they're at a.
I listened on NPR News 2 days ago. Mark Zuckerberg would like to have Facebook become a branch of government, like some type of. They want them to have some type of Supreme Court, because at this point, Facebook is bigger and has more access than any nation and any government collectively. They have the access and influence of 8 billion people and growing. Facebook. So if they really wanted to and put the money behind it, they could do it. Facebook could be making laws for our country.
Yeah,
the world.
Facebook already manipulating the world into buying stuff.
Right. So imagine if we completely say, "Oh well, hell, y'all can have that too. Y'all had that too." Yeah, that's one of those things.
I figured that was gonna eventually come. Where else could it go?
Yeah,
babe. Have y'all watched Social Dilemma yet? The Social Dilemma.
A long time ago. I have to watch it again.
Like Facebook and social media, they have made more money than has ever been made in the history of money. Like,
yeah,
we know with money comes power. So there's no other place for them to go. Either they go to Mars or DC.
Yep. Yep.
I'm surprised that they haven't become, lobbyists on the fly, on the cool. But it's no way
they are.
They manipulate everything.
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
So yeah, we got to keep a close eye on the babies. We can't check out.
We in the last We at the end days. Y'all better get y'all life together. Get y'all free.
We in the last days, child.
We in the last and evil days. Ain't no other explanation. Okay. When social media can become government, well, what Trump did, so I mean, there's nothing out of the question now.
Yeah, all these community standards and these practices and policies and stuff, they are setting human standards. They are setting the tone for how humans are to engage. Facebook is just the platform that they're playing around with it on Facebook. That's it. Yep. So
that's gonna be the new world order. Like all the stuff we read in Revelation is gonna be social media. We gonna find out
these movies. Like, but I'm saying we watch. I don't know the type of. I'm the Ready Player One, and where things become virtual, and you gotta things. The lines are getting real fuzzy.
I told you,
real fuzzy.
Not being funny, but I've been saying when I was like, listen, I feel like we live in an I Am Legend, and I'm not about to. That's just
all them I movies. I Am Legend. I Robots.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much, and we know the world of just the stuff that we even just witnessed.
I just want y'all to know we sound real old right now.
We are. We crossover.
Sound real old.
I'm embracing. I know I embrace my TT. Almost Meemaw way. Yeah. I'm good.
But it comes from a place of wisdom. You see both sides of it. Like we get it. So I mean,
we have
you won't call me crazy. I see it all. I'm watching it. Yes, like we watching it. You can call me whatever you want.
The grave.
Yeah. Absolutely. Slow you down a little bit.
Yeah. I'm okay with being auntie. Like I said earlier, I'm okay with that. I said what I said.
Yeah. Kels, good to have you.
Yes,
thank you.
We missed you.
We know you're busy, so I'm glad you.
I appreciate it.
Hanging out with us tonight. Take it when we can.
Yeah.
Take it when we can. So.
Maybe I'll be back around one day. Hopefully, sitting in my fur with on my yacht.
Yes. We're gonna be live broadcasting from the yacht. I'll treat it right.
Where y'all live? I don't know, somewhere in the South Atlantic on Kels's on her yacht.
Live on the Pacific.
Our technical difficulties will be because we out of range, not because we have janky internet.
We have
out
of range.
I agree. Call Zuckerberg and tell him to make sure.
Get a tower out here, Stan.
Mark.
Go downstairs and tell Mark his app is tripping again.
Right.
Now this is how we are all the time. Anyway.
Yes, I had a good time. So getting ready to head, like I said before, get ready to head into another new venture. So y'all just keep me in your prayers. I'm gonna pop in and stay in touch. And I enjoyed the chat and our lovely co-hosts, Janae and Tay. I know there's a few others on there. I think it's our Candace. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. I like that y'all get in with the conversation and bring your light to it too. So yes, I definitely had a good time. I mean, y'all say on the lookout for Bob's gas station. Kirby Kitten is still here. She's still rocking. She's the older child. She's gotta just sit and babysit the other
She was fly this weekend for the birthday though.
Right.
That's what Kirby Kitten was. She was fly for the birthday. Yes, ma'am.
So y'all stay tuned. I love that y'all keep me accountable. I do it for the culture and for everybody. So I'll see you again.
Absolutely.
And my brothers, they support. I appreciate Win and Q and all their support. And we have a very good relationship where we can celebrate and vent, and we're back to cuss each other out every once in a while. It's all love.
Every so often, quarterly, we might get it in once every.
What's their blue moon?
Yeah, be like, now listen.
What are you doing?
Just a swift hit. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, so you know it's bad. You know it's bad when we get to going. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing?
What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah. Help me understand.
Yep. Yeah. Final words. Q, what you got?
Be good to each other this week. Be good to each other. I think, if anything, our conversations tonight have shown us that it pays to take a little time to get a little understanding and be good to each other over the next. I challenge you with the Be Good challenge for the next 7 days until next Tuesday. Be good. Just try a little harder to be good to each other.
Yeah.
See where that gets you.
Kels, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Make sure you advertise. Shanae, you're perfectly fine, by the way. Don't ever.
Oh, yeah. You're good. You're good.
Absolutely fine. Yeah. Advertising packages, of course. So if you also, let me say this. If you are, today I combined all of my email lists. Thank the Lord. So
come on, progress.
Yeah. Yes, so if you get multiple emails, you can go ahead and unsubscribe from one of them because it's only one list now. So if you notice anything different, you will notice that is starting to happen. But you'll also notice that the advertising will start changing too. So so if you are looking for packages, you need to get with me ASAP. Also, if you're trying to get yeah, that's all I was going to say about that. Yeah, get with me right away. I'm getting tired. So,
you know when to get close to quitting time.
Yeah. Also, of course, again, I am running the 2 for $30 sale for the book. It comes out again. The release date is July 27th. So again, go to the site, the bit.ly/Blue Storms. You get 2 books for $30 pre-sale with free shipping. So get that now. Pre-sales will end probably in a couple of weeks, actually. So get them while you can, and then because after that, then you got to pay for your own shipping and the price of the book gonna go up. So, and then also,
I like that.
Yeah, and then also boot camp. Starting doing a 30-day boot camp, starting the 26th of June. So now that I'm done writing, I have time to do these. So definitely get in. Go to my either Instagram or you can go to my Facebook page, and you'll see the event on both of those and get registered for that. Tense training, 30 days. I'm gonna walk you through how to begin to build generational wealth. So, or if you're already doing it, how to do it better. So, yep, sign up. Other than that, do I have any other things? Of course, Tay, we definitely praying for you. Kels and Q, appreciate you. Love you both. Thank you to everybody. First timers, we appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure you hit that share button. Get you some Elegance by Design. Get you some. I need to order me some more, by the way. Get you some. Go by Bob's if you in OKC. Get you some Curvy Kittens. Yeah, like we supporting us. And then of course, shout out. Yesterday was the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa Race Riot, Tulsa Massacre. So we want to, of course, honor that as something that is very, very, that was detrimental to our community. But it's also a sign that 100 years later, we are still, as a community, we are still thriving. We're still growing. We're still getting better. So I want to encourage us, even though there's no national movement to buy Black every day, we should be supporting one another. And that's for everybody, because I'm going to agree with what Michael Render says, that America does better when Black people do better. So we need to make sure that we are supporting one another and human flourishing in general. Last but definitely not least, y'all might not be prepared for me to say this as a pastor, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is LGBTQIA month. And I want to every person who is a part of that community that I absolutely, unequivocally love you and appreciate your presence, not only in my life, but your presence in this world. and this is your month. I want you to know that your life matters. Everything about you matters. And so, if you're the type of person who thinks that it doesn't, that is a lie. You matter. The way that you are right now is important, not only to me, it's important to God, and it's important to our community. So don't you dare think that you are not valued and that you are not loved. There we go.
You better. You better. You better. That's gonna end the show.
Right.
Happy Pride Month. End the show.
I'm waiting for the emails I'm gonna get for that one.
Yeah, y'all be all right. Send them to us. You be all right.
I love you. I said what I said.
There you go. And we support it.
I said what I said. Look, I'm told I say, you don't buy my book, no way.
Right. Ain't share the show.
Even if you did, I still make it. You don't even know you lost your mic.
Lost my mic.
You lost the mic.
You could just give it, I should just spend it while you standing here. First you say you're with me, and then you try to tease me. So I try to keep it low when you knock me to the floor. Cause
I'm a backup dancer now.
You've been promoted tonight.
No, I don't know the words, no way.
and would you take this long, sweet road and pull it together? Baby, if this is goodbye, I want one last try. You just can't give up. Can't you see the tears in my eyes? Cause I'm gonna try. Baby, treat you right. Just give me one more try. If this is goodbye.
Good night, y'all. Have a good night.
Bye.